Welcome to Denver, Colorado. We're on site of a DIY project even you can do. We're going to add a deck skirting to an existing deck. We're going to start by making our cuts in preparation for the top rail. In preparation for our table saw to make our cuts, we're making our first cut a rabbet cut of 5/8 deep by 1.5 inch. As you can see here, we're doing a 1.5 inch cut for our first cut of the rabbet. For the second cut of our rabbet, we're adjusting the table saw fence to 1.5 inch wide and our blade depth to 9/16 inch. As you can see, we have our rabbet cut complete. We're going to set up our table saw for the 45-degree cut on the top edge of the same board. I set my table saw fence for 1.5 inch width and adjusted my saw blade to a 45-degree angle. Now that we have our boards cut, we're going to install the top piece of our skirting to the actual deck. We're going to use 3-inch deck screws to make that happen. Now's a great time to talk about shop safety. Always wear your ear defenders. Protect your eyes. Your hands are equally important, but always protect your feet. This here, ladies and gentlemen, is precisely the reason why you want to put skirting around your deck. This is raccoon feces. We have a large population in this area of Colorado, and this is precisely the reason why we want to keep them out from underneath the deck. Now that we have the top rail installed, we're going to align our bottom rail by attaching a simple piece of wood using a simple clamp to the side of the deck, and these are going to act as basic guides. Now is a good time to talk about job site safety. Working outside, it can be pretty warm, and it's always a good idea to stay hydrated. For me, I always grab an ice cold beer. Once in place, you can go through and take measurements on both ends and in the middle between your rails to ensure you have equal distance. Now that we know where our bottom railing is going, we're going to drill pilot holes in that bottom rail to secure it to the ground. Now that our pilot hole is drilled, I'm just going to use these 10-inch spikes to keep the bottom railing secure in the ground. Having measured the distance between the top and the bottom rails of our skirting, we're going to make our cuts on our sliding miter saw at 11.5 inches. Now's a good time to talk about job site safety. Before working outside in the sun all day, understand the sun can be harsh. It's a good idea to wear sunblock. Good enough. Now that our pickets are cut, I pre-drilled the top end of the pickets. Now it's time to install them. Now I'm going to attach the pickets using 1 5/8 inch screws. I'm going to use 1 3/4 inch spacers to set the distance between my pickets. As we progress with our skirting installation, I'm going to install a peak over the skirting. Similar to the top rail of our skirt board, I cut a 45-degree angle, doing the same thing here on our peak board. Before I install, I'm going to pre-drill and then install with 1 5/8 screws. After a few days of hard work, we're finally installing the last few pieces of this deck skirting. One job complete. Finishing your deck with skirting can be as simple or as complex as you make it. This is what makes custom DIY projects like this so much fun. Thanks for watching, and remember to work safely and enjoy the moment. Remember to like and subscribe to Vivid Impressions Productions, LLC at www.vividimpressionsproductions.com.